What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Triple 28. So I've got a really quick question for you guys before we get started with this video. Do you care if your atomizer sticks over the edge of your mod? Do you care if it has any overhang or anything like that? Personally, it just bugs the hell out of me, but I want to know what you guys think out there, so make sure you drop a comment right down there in the box below and let me know. So this is the latest and greatest from our friends over at Vandy Vape. It's also a collaboration project with the man, the myth, the legend, Vaping with Twisted 420. So yeah, gotta give a big shout out and thank you to the people over at Vandy Vape for sending this my way for the purpose of making this video. So let's go ahead and get started here. Taking a quick look online, this device comes in two different color options. You have a stainless steel version and a black version. I know, pretty plain Jane and boring. I feel like even Twisted 420 would appreciate a rainbow version or a gold version. I know he rocks those crazy setups sometimes, but with that, only two color choices with this one here. In any case, it's going to cost you about $35 to $40 depending on where you look online, and of course I'll provide you guys with links right down there in the description below if you want to pick one up for yourself. But without further ado, let's go down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, as you can see here, we've got the triple RTA in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the package and then talk about what is inside. So as you can tell, this is not the full retail version. This is the trial version, sample version, call it what you will. It says sample right up there, and this is just a sticker that's put on there. So there's really not much to talk about when it comes to this box, other than just the Vandy Vape logos all the way around the outside, and some basic generic company information on the back. So let's just go ahead, take the cover off, and see what we get underneath there. Well, obviously we have a big ol' honking piece of glass. This is the spare glass that comes with it, and it's a full size, of course. We have the, I believe this is an 18.5 millimeter dock tip that comes with it. It's a kind of nice knurled piece of Delrin, which usually I have on top of this thing. So there we go. And then we have the Triple 28 itself. So we'll be talking about that in just a second here. Let's just go ahead and see what we get on the underside of that little foam tray. We have a full extra set of O-rings. We have a full extra set of grub screws. We have a 510 drip tip adapter, and we have this nice little multi-tool. This thing, every time I see one of these, it reminds me of tech decks, and I really want to just go out and buy a tech deck. Does anyone remember those things? Do you play with them as a kid? I sure did, but there you go. That's what's inside the box. Let's go ahead and take a look at the device itself. All right, guys, so let's talk about the specs. First of all, it's a collaboration with Vaping with Twisted 420. It's 28 millimeters in diameter with a 4 mil maximum juice capacity, stainless steel construction, Pyrex glass reinforcement, innovative postless 6-terminal design, 2.5 by 2.5 millimeter terminal openings, side secured via hex flat screws, 3 peak insulated positive terminal posts, 3 negative terminal posts, dual or triple coil configurations, dual bottom airflow control with large air slots, single internal chamber, convenient threaded top fill method, 17.5 millimeter wide Ultem drip tip included, as well as an 18.5 millimeter wide Delrin dock tip as well, and you have a 510 drip tip adapter and a gold plated 510 connection. Alright guys, so let's go over this thing from top to bottom, starting off with the drip tip. This is the Ultem drip tip that it comes with. You also get this nice Delrin dock tip as well. This one is really super short and super wide, so personally I really wish they would have made it a tiny bit taller, to be honest with you, but hey, that's just me. Pretty much anything is better than the Ultem though, in my opinion. So let's just go ahead and take that off. I've got this 810 tip here that I use for my size comparison, so just being able to pop that in right there, boom, 810 as you can see. So let's just pop that back out again. It is secured in there with a single O-ring on the inside of there, and it has a nice little Vandy Vape engraving right there on the top cap. The top cap itself does have this nice little design on there, which makes it nice and easy to grip onto and be able to unscrew it. The thread's a little bit crunchy, honestly, not the best threads I've ever seen, but with that, on the inside of this, you have another O-ring right on that edge there to prevent it from leaking, and I've never had this thing leak on me whatsoever. You can see the two huge filling ports on either side there, so you have one side that you fill it up with, and the air escapes on the other side, which is absolutely brilliant. It takes no time at all to fill this thing up, and let's just go ahead and pop this piece off. Threads, again, kind of squeaky, but, you know, pretty good. But there you go, you have your triple 28 logo. It's like 3 T's or something like that. It's pretty cool looking. I like it. I'm definitely down for that. So really easy to change out the glass on this. All you have to do is just kind of push against the chamber. Boom, you get your glass off. So it's easy to change out if you do happen to break it or if you want to clean it. There you go. And boom, there's the build deck. So as you can see, it has this sort of kind of like a car engine look to it. It's kind of like a, what would you call that? A flat 6 or an inline 6? I'm not exactly sure. Forgive me, I'm not a car guy. I'm sorry. But you have the big open airflow slot at the bottom there, which means you can place your coils however you want. No matter what, they're going to get some airflow, and it's actually not very turbulent whatsoever. So that's definitely a nice touch. There's a peak insulator separating the positive from the negative right there. And the screws themselves are Allen-headed grub screws. Never had an issue with them whatsoever. And you also have these big, generously sized slots on the top. That's where you fit your coils into, and it just allows for using any type of exotic wire that you really want to there. I really like the design of this build deck because once your coils are trapped in there, you just tuck your cotton over the edge and it fits right over the screw head. So it gives it a nice seamless look to it, and that's pretty much it. Here is the gasket at the bottom, and I've, again, never had this thing leak on me one little bit, so that is working well. Here's the adjustable airflow, and you can open it wide open or close it right down. It goes from fully closed to fully open. Usually I use it about 75% of the way open. That tends to work best for me personally. And you can see on the bottom here the very subtle engravings, the nice Twisted Wood 420 logo right there, and the triple 28 right there. And the 510 pin does protrude, so technically you guys could use this thing on a mechanical mod if you wanted to, a hybrid mechanical. So that's the triple 28 in a nutshell. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off today with the pros, and my first pro is that it's big and it's beautiful. This thing is an absolute mammoth of a tank, and right now it's sitting on top of the equally as big Captain PD270 by iJoy, and I gotta say, this thing is a little bit foreboding. You know, you put this thing down on the counter at the vape shop, and your friends are gonna look at it and go, damn, that thing is massive, and I gotta say, it's definitely appropriate. I really like the aesthetics of this one as well. It's very simple and kind of elegant and just kind of down and dirty sort of tank, and that's the kind of thing I really like. My second pro for this one is the nearly endless coiling options. You can really get creative with this one. You can do it in a dual coil or a triple coil configuration. If you guys watch my Fresh Build Friday episode on this thing here, you'll know that I put 3 different types of coils in there, and I still have that same build in here to this day, and I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the performance with this one. There's no posts getting in the way, so you can just kind of span those coils all the way across and just get creative with it. So that's something I really love about this, not to mention the fact that since there's no post, there's nothing to get in the way of the airflow. I really like to flex my creative building muscles, and I know you guys do too. So with that, if you're like me, then you're absolutely going to love this one. My third pro for this device is the massive vapor production you get with this one here, just because you can build 3 coils in there all the way down to like 0.1 ohms and slap it on a box mod and just crank the wattage up really high, and you get crazy cloudage with this one here. And I mean, the proof's in the pudding, so just have a look. I think you'll agree there's no shortage of cloud production when it comes to the triple 28. And my fourth and final pro for this device is it's easy to fill, and that's a really good thing for this particular device because you're going to be filling it all the freaking time. I fill this thing probably 4 to 5 times a day, if not even more than that. And with that, sometimes I don't have a unicorn bottle at hand, so all I do is take out the dropper bottle and just kind of pour it in, no problem, fills it up really quickly, and it doesn't leak or doesn't make a mess. So with that, yeah, you're going to be filling this thing all the time, so it damn well better be easy. Alright guys, so moving on to the cons, my first con is that this thing absolutely drinks juice. Like I said, you're going to be filling it about 4 to 5 times a day, if not more, and with that, you're going to probably end up going through about double your normal juice consumption. So with that, get ready to shell out some dough for some extra juice a week because this thing is going to go through your bottle really, really quickly. My second con for this device is that the threads are a little bit squeaky. Now, personally, I never had the highest of expectations when it comes to anything that comes out from Vandy Vape, but with this one here, it seems to be a bit more noticeable noticeable, especially when you're taking the top cap on and off when it comes to filling it. Maybe it's because I'm doing it so often, but other than that, I really, really wish they would have spent a little bit more time on the filling method for this one. Maybe do something like a slide open or a pop open, something like that. Anything is better than the threads that are on top of this thing. And my third and final con kind of has to do with what I was alluding to earlier in this video, is it doesn't fit on a lot of devices flush. It has a lot of overhang when it comes to devices like the RX Gen 3, which I absolutely love, and I really wish I could just have this thing on there all the time, but it has a lot of overhang, and it really just gets to me. Personally, I like my devices to be either flush or even sitting a little bit in from the outside of the mod, and with this one here, it just hangs over the edge a millimeter on either side, and it just really annoys the crap out of me, and I can't stand it personally. Obviously, this is something that's a bit subjective, and not everyone's going to care about that, but I just felt like I had to mention it. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for a review? And I'm going to say yes to this one. Hands down, absolutely yes, just because I really like the flexibility of it. I like the building options, and honestly, I'm thinking about getting the black version to match my iJoy, but hey, you know what? I feel like this is going to be for the cloud bros and the kind of mid-range builders, someone that's kind of bored of doing dual coils. They want to get a little bit more creative with their coiling options. This is definitely going to be the device for you, as long as you have something that'll look pretty good on. But with that, if you want to pick one up for yourself, I'll leave links right down there in the description. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Big shout out to you guys in the notification squad for getting here early. I'm really curious as to whether or not you guys care about overhang with your devices, so make sure you drop a comment right down there. Or if you have any questions about the 2828 at all, I will try to get to them as soon as I possibly can. Don't forget to check out the description of this video. That's where you're going to find the advocacy and my social media info, so check it out down there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on.